Are you ready for a full-blown freakout? Well, Bari Weiss is not done at CBS News in 60 Minutes, and she's giving the blues to the way out there left journos who despise her. This time, she's trying to get, allegedly, Scott Jennings of CNN. And folks, that doesn't begin to tell you how much the drive-bys despise her, because it turns out Skydance Paramount CBS just might be buying CNN next. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And yes, we use that kind of gendered language here, just as humans have for the past, thousands of years. Folks, gather near. We've got a great breaking story, and that is that Bari Weiss and CBS might be the next owners of CNN, and they're trying to get Scott Jennings. It is a total terror show over at CNN and the rest of the drive-by going extinct dinosaur legacy media as they try to find somewhere, some dinghy, some kind of inflatable that they can hang on to, a life raft to get to the other side of what is becoming a very rapid change in journalism. Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin right now. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this out of the Mirror. This is just happening. Huge CBS News star quits. CBS News star quits as new boss has major shakeup at the organization. By Lauren Martinez. A major CBS News star has quit just 9 months after starting the role as the new bosses threaten to clean house at the network following backlash over edited chats with Trump administration officials and other controversial moments. CBS Evening News anchor John Dickerson has quit with no explanation, which he announced on social media less than a year after he stepped into the role alongside co-anchor Maurice Dubois. The news of his departure comes as there have been warnings more CBS stars could face cancellation after the network was looking to overhaul its programming, starting with the axing of Stephen Colbert. Dickerson is out at CBS. Why is that happening? Because Bari Weiss is taking an axe to CBS News and 60 Minutes. And this is what they knew was going to happen. They knew it all the time. This is why they fought like mad. Remember 60 Minutes and CBS News doing everything they could to cause the merger with Skydance and Paramount to fail? Remember how they did everything possible, FCC investigations and all that? They knew that they would lose badly if the Ellisons got a hold of them. Stephen Green's the author here. I'm Leslie Stahl. I'm Scott Paley-Peely. I'm Bill Whitaker. I'm Anderson Cooper. And we're all about to get fired, says this. It's a dream this person is playing out over here on PJ Media. Says a decades-old dream for a shakeup at the world's most pretentious and least informative infotainment program might be about to come true, according to a story in the New York Post on Monday evening. Hot on the heels of yesterday's news that new CBS News chief Bari Weiss might poach CNN's token conservative, Scott Jennings, comes word that the high-priced talent at 60 Minutes might want to make sure their LinkedIn profiles are up to date. Now, this came out before we knew that, in fact, the big anchor at CBS News was out. And Eric Doherty is saying Scott Jennings just might be in. Wow. But guess what else? If Warner Brothers is bought, they'll own CNN too. Oh, are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? There is a potential, albeit it is remote. But there is a potential where Bari Weiss is in charge of CNN. Anyway, they're working to get Scott Jennings out of CNN, even if that doesn't happen. And who knows, that might lower the value of CNN. Who is Scott Jennings? We'll play a clip from him so you can all know and refreshify who this guy is. But Bari Weiss, the person they fear so much, who's taken over CBS News in 60 Minutes, wants this guy and is willing to pay big bucks to strip him away from CNN and put him in as the star of CBS News in 60 Minutes.
I mean, if you watched the debate last night, most of Cuomo's best moments were about Mamdani's experience. In this particular case, I think he was making 2 points, actually. One is, if you did, God forbid, have a massive emergency like that, would you really want someone in the mayor's seat who has never had a job, never run anything, certainly never run anything at this level? Yeah. And that's been his entire argument, number one. Number two, it is true that Mamdani was taking a picture with an unindicted co-conspirator from the World Trade Center bombing the other day and called him a pillar of the community. Cuomo didn't make him take that picture. Mamdani took that picture and seems to be pretty proud of it. That's a legitimate thing to debate. But I think in this case of the radio show, the core issue was Mamdani literally has no experience And if you had a 9/11 scale event, would you want somebody who can't prove that they can do anything in the chair?
In other words, this guy is good. Mm-hmm. And the folks at CNN who are around him on the panel don't know what to do with him, but the viewers do. He's actually been helping CNN outperform MSNBC significantly. And I don't know if you all saw this, but Lawrence O'Donnell, man, losing his mind over Scott Jennings because CNN is actually improving. And now they might be losing him. Bari Weiss wants Scott Jennings. Let's go to Marvin first as a man inside journalism. Marvin, your thoughts on Scott Jennings potentially going to CBS? We might not have to worry about Scott Paley anymore. Might be Scott Jennings taking over when the clock goes tick, tick, tick.
It would definitely be interesting. I think it would be a much less hostile environment than CNN for him over there. However, I don't think he would be the lone conservative voice over there, nor do I think he would be surrounded by all conservative voices. I think that what Bari Weiss is doing is she's trying to create a multifaceted news organization that can present both sides of the argument, because that's kind of what she's known for, being a centrist. And there's plenty on the left that thinks she's a crazy right winger, and there's plenty on the right who thinks she's a liberal, which is exactly how you're doing something right when you're actually presenting the full scope of the story. So I think it would be a great get for CBS. I don't think John Dickerson is a huge loss. So I am very excited at the future of CBS News and what this is going to look like.
Ron, what does it do to CNN to lose Scott Jennings at a time when he seems to be propping up their ratings significantly?
Probably is not good for CNN. But if Guy Dance gets this whole thing, could he be on both? How does that even work?
Okay, well that's a great question. Culture. This is I think the nightmare scenario for all of these people. They didn't see this one coming. If the Ellisons, who run Skydance and now Paramount and now CBS, if they buy Warner Brothers, they potentially get CNN. And if they get CNN, Bari Weiss just might run CNN as well as CBS News. There could be a situation where they combine newsrooms a la the way that MS Now, formerly MSNBC, and NBC News were ran. You could see CBS News being in charge of CNN, Bari Weiss in charge of both of them, and that's the end of ultra-left cable news. That's the end of it. It's over. Muted, Culture. Unmutify, man.
Sorry about that. I was agreeing with you. I was saying that that's the exact opposite of what CNN had before they were flipped over the last time. They had that Zucker guy who went on to be part of, I think, Redbird Capital. But anyway, in there giving just the extremist anti-Trump, opinions and forcing that news into CNN. You're putting the polar opposite, and as Marvin so deftly described, the aggressive centrist in charge of multiple news organizations at that point. And you're right, it would lead to a PMS-NBC structure there that they would be able to benefit from and have true news gathering.
Where do they go? Culture, where do they go? If the CNN loony lefties, and there are crazies on the right as well, but they're not on CNN. The loony lefties, the people who are on the fringes who are on CNN, MS Now can't afford them. They can't hire them. No. They're running out of places. I guess they go to ABC News. That'll be one of the last places you can go.
Or they do what Bari Weiss did and start their own organizations that are promptly ignored.
She's competent, Culture. They can't do that. You ask too much of them.
I know, but I was giving a suggestion. I mean, anybody can start a Substack.
It's like telling a toddler they can do the high jump if they just try. No, they can't, Culture. Hey, don't do that to them.
All right. Probably not. But I'm trying to help.
Grab the steering wheel, you armed man. You can do it.
I'm looking for hope and change, Pro. I'm looking for hope and change.
All right, Barack.
Anyway, but back to it. I just say, look, this is a winning situation if they do get that, because they'll go straight to the top. The minute you find the middle, the sensible center, as somebody famous here says all the time, you'll find yourself more eyeballs, which means more money, more viewership, bigger future. And I believe in Bari Weiss. I do. I've watched her go seriously centrist on Tim Pool's show, and I was like blown away. I was like, okay, you go, girl.
Can I throw a theory at you, Culture?
Yeah, please do.
I think I know why the Ellisons and some of these big corporations are moving away from woke. You want to hear it?
Money?
You tell. Well, yes, to some degree. Well, it's always money is power, and people love power, right? Well, at least
they do.
At least the power brokers do.
Yeah.
Culture. I think this, and this is putting me out on a limb, okay?
Oh.
But I think this Mamdani deal in New York.
Yeah.
I think it's actually got the moderate left corporate leaders
freaking.
They're freaking out because it's anti-capitalist, and it's the biggest. It's the biggest economy in terms of per square foot, per square mile in the country. The amount of devastation that he can bring as a mayor, I think it's actually rung their bells, and they're done with it. Like they wanted to play with socialism, they want to placate the socialists, but they never wanted to really play ball with them.
No. And here's the weird thing. We are watching in real time Polymarket shift the odds on Mamdani really fast right now. He must have said some ridiculous things recently.
I'll check with his aunt, see what she, I mean, his father's cousin. I mean, his mother's cousin, 3 times removed. We'll check on that.
Yeah. So I watched Polymarket this morning just drop like a rock. I'm like, what did this guy do?
What's it at right now, Culture? Look that up and give us
man.
What it's at.
Give me a minute.
But Ron, to go back to you, because I know you didn't get the full answer that you wanted to do. Ron, this is amazing because the entire way this happened is that CBS News, the people there, bet the farm that they could win against the Orange Man. They could edit stuff. They could change things. And that's the only way that all of this has come to pass, where they're going to even lose CNN now. If they hadn't done that, none of this happens. They literally burned themselves. They razed their... what would you say? Their empire to the ground.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's believing that it's believing in your own bubble, right? It's.
Oh, that's a great quote. Believing in your own bubble. That's a great line. Ron, did you make that up right then? That's impressive.
Yeah, I did.
Believe in the bubble.
But it goes back to something that I learned in high school from my drama teacher of all people. She said, look, and this was her advice for myself, but like anybody that ever goes into the entertainment business, she said, if you ever get big, right, and people start to write about you, whether it's good or bad, don't believe it. Like, don't believe any of it. And these people believe everything good about themselves.
They believe the lies that they know they told about the truth.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's crazy. So then you have somebody like Bari Weiss come in, and she's actually sensible. She actually operates from the perspective of common sense and how do we draw all of the audience in. The news was always supposed to be a place where you give out information and let people think for themselves how it plays out. And it changed, obviously, with the 24-hour news cycle. And there were always liberals reporting in the news before that. But they stayed, as far as their reporting was concerned, in the sensible center for the most part. And then there was a shift. And as the shift started taking place over the last 20, 30 years, it's gotten so far to the left. It's become ridiculously skewed that your average American person is not going to buy into it.
Yeah, the Overton window has turned into an Overton cavern.
Right. So what she is doing, not only does it make sense, but like I'm looking at this possibility of CBS getting CNN, changing it under Bari Weiss, and it could actually become real competition with Fox News, which sometimes skews too far to the right, and just sometimes like they're not. It's a skewed news source. People want fair, like literally fair and balanced, which is what they used to talk about, but it's not that way necessarily anymore because of them butting heads and having to compete with the far left. And you go one way or the other in the wrong direction and you fall off a cliff.
That's right. Talking about Cliff's culture, what do we got on the poly market
so
Cliff?
in the last couple of days, Mamdani was sitting at about 95.4, 95.5 on Polymarket. He's fallen 6 points in the last 2 days, or day and a half, I should say.
But
so he's
still,
down to 89.4. Oh, he's still ahead. Yeah,
right.
But,
by far, it would be amazing if Cuomo pulled it off. And we don't listen. I'm not into revealing my politics, but I'll just tell you, neither of these individuals do I like. Cuomo decimated, I believe, the elderly in New York in ways that are just unimaginable and cause pain and suffering. So we are picking between two just tremendously flawed individuals who should not be in charge of a paperclip, let alone the city of New York. But finally, maybe the news media and the organizations that own them have had enough of this, and that's why they're moderating. Marvin, I'll give you the final word on this and whether or not turning New York City into London might be what has alarm bells going off across the corporate news media.
Oh, it absolutely does. Because people know exactly what's going to happen if he gets elected and does the things that he says that he's going to do. Now, I have seen some people being like, you know what? Let it happen, because they're going to have to see what it's like. And my wonder is, I can't wait to see how they're going to try to spin it to turn everything positive during his reign as mayor, as everything collapses. I mean, I already told my wife, like, when we go to visit my family and stuff like that, we like to go into the city, go catch a show. I said, well, if this dude becomes mayor, we are not stepping foot in that city, because it's not going to be safe. There's going to be no, the crime is going to go through the roof. It's just not going to be safe. So
Going to turn into London.
Yeah, it's going to turn into London, and I don't want to go to London either. So it's definitely going to be interesting, to say the least, if he ends up in the mayoral chair.
The prediction is, and this is why they're working to get control of these news organizations, and they know they spewed too far. The prediction that I have seen is that you could see something like 200,000 people leave New York over the next 3 to 4 years if this guy's elected. I mean, you're talking about a full-blown exodus. And I know that's nowhere close to the full population of New York. Of course it's not. They're voting 90% for this guy. But you could see the last of the conservatives and centrists in New York say, goodbye. I'm going to North Carolina. I'm going to South Carolina, Florida, Texas, Tennessee. I'm out of here, man.
But I don't think you're. I'm gonna push back a little and say you're gonna have an equal number of people on the left side running the heck away from this too, Pro.
Perhaps,
because there are a lot of very reasonable people that are not conservative, that are on the more Democrat side of the scale, that are going to look at this and say, I don't want to live in the CCP. I don't want to live in London. I don't want to live anywhere where it's violent. Do you realize that the majority of people that have been public about their leaving America kind of announcements aren't crazy positive when they get there to their new spot?
Oh, no. They're going to Portugal, which is basically a red state. That's been one of my favorite stories we've covered, is the celebrities fleeing to go to Europe and get away from the orange man. And they went to Portugal, which is different. Basically, Portugal is basically the Florida of Europe. I love it. I love that story. I also love the idea that Bari Weiss might take control of not only CBS News and 60 Minutes, but CNN, with Scott Jennings rising to the top. Folks, I'm not here to tell you that I want partisan or ideological news. I want it to have people on the right, people on the left, debating and having a good time. And I want us to go back to the 80s style of what America was, where we can disagree without being disagreeable. That seems to be difficult these days. But I believe in the US of A, and I believe that even if New York goes crazy, that just means more people than ever will be going to the sunny shores of Florida, to Texas, to Tennessee, and to all of those wonderful places where you can go and have low taxes and lots of freedom. I know you want more. You want more of the Pro Channel, folks, but we've got to head out the door for this video. But fret not yet, for more content is yet on the way. 3 times a day, thrice as nice, right here on the Pro Channel. Oh, what's that you say? You want more than that? Fine, we'll do 4. 4 videos. Well, yeah, that's happening. Folks, as you get ready to go, consider clicking the like button for us. It is a huge help. Also, like, share, subscribe, and click it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. We would also love it if you could drop on down and give us a comment. We love hearing from you. And although we can't respond to every single comment, we often are reading them indeed. Folks, we would encourage you to consider subscribing to our partner channels, That Park Place, That Game Place, and That Pod Place. We love them all. We think you might too. Until the next time we have the joy of joining with you, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
Want it all, so I give them cannonball. Yeah!
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio.
Arizona. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be up. 3 days of you and me.
What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.